welcome to another episode of Eliminating Excuses with SMA. I am your host, Sheila, and today we have a very special episode because I am going to be talking to my niece daughter, yes. But before we bring her on, what I want you to do is go grab you something to drink, get you a little snack, and make sure that you come back because we're going to talk about eliminating excuses when health is a challenge. Okay? I will talk to you soon.
Welcome to the sweet y'all. Welcome to the sweet y'all. Welcome to the Vitamin M Sweet with Carrie. Yeah, she give all the support to black entrepreneurs. Yeah, the Vitamin M, we inviting them in to what she created, much appreciated, and it can't be recreated. Black people got the keys to the locks now. We gon' make it. Get a taste of culture, embrace the face that's taking over, replacing Oprah. It's all black everything, every day. Get up, stand up, fight for your rights, but be a heavyweight. Yeah, and they gon' hate, but you let them hate. Long as they don't cross them lines like the letter H. You just stay on your grind until you elevate. Then set a date with Carrie so she can tell it straight. Cause if it ain't real, they can tell it's fake. But this is black excellence, let's celebrate. Experience.
Hello and welcome back to an episode of Eliminating Excuses with SMA. Now, today we're going to talk to my baby girl, who's actually one of my oldest, who's not really my oldest, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, okay, so Imani King, that's our names. This is my big girl. Her name is Imani King. She has battled with Sickle Cell.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
20.
Oh, Lord, 20. You're about to be 21 in December.
21, yeah.
Ooh, it's been a long time coming. Hallelujah. Mm-hmm. But we're here. So one of the things, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you on was because, one, although you're often misunderstood, you have a very good story.
Yeah.
You have transitioned at this point to where you're really starting to, like, you know your body, you know all of those things. So before we get into the journey through sickle cell, let's start at the beginning as far as you remember, because you're still young. So am I, but, you know.
Of course.
Well, so let's talk about Imani. What has been, aside from the disease, what has been your life experiences?
From what I can remember, it would be mainly at home, school, church, and the hospital. Those like the four places that I'll be mainly at that I can remember strong details from. Okay. So it's a rotating cycle.
So we found out at birth, obviously.
Yeah.
That it's not one of those things where you're like, I wonder what happened, how would you feel? So let's talk about mom, who's not really a mom, it's my sister, but for the purpose of the millions viewing this, you my child. But anyway, let's talk about how life has been dealing with her while you're dealing with the illness.
So my mom, she told me that I'm her only child. So she didn't know, first of all, how to raise a child. And then to add on to that, illness, so many hospital visits, many questions, many concerns, and the hours spent in the emergency room, hours spent looking up stuff because she didn't know what is sickle cell and what comes with it. So I feel like she had the biggest impact throughout this whole thing.
Now, that's nice that you brought up her impact, but tell me what has been your experience with her.
I mainly see that she's always there. She's never not there. And as I got older, I started to realize that she doesn't have to be there, but she chooses to be. And so for my mom and for her to always, try to make me feel better and always is there for me when I'm in pain or when new things are coming up, when the doctors tell me or, new medication. Absolutely. She's always there helping me and guiding me through it and calming me down when I need it. So I feel like and pray with me every time that something goes wrong. So I feel like she is the most important thing throughout this whole thing. Like, I don't think I'll be able to be or who I am without her at this point.
And me, but
Of course.
we'll just leave it at. I'll let my sister get the credit right now. So, you all stay at home with mama, with grandma.
Yeah, most definitely.
Grandma, that's my mama. So I'm gonna be mindful of the words we use on this recorded session because you know they're gonna watch it, right? And I'm still scared of my mama. Just a little bit. So how has it been with the family? So let's talk about the ones that live at home. You got Uncle Junior, you got Papa, Grandma. Mm-hmm. How has it been them trying to kind of get used to over the years? What have you seen?
I've seen the constant worry, and when I say worry, I mean the constant take your medicine today. How are you feeling today? Don't overexert yourself. You're not going anywhere because
right.
And especially when COVID came, I couldn't do anything.
Oh my God, no.
So like I was literally content in the house. I couldn't do anything. So they was really adamant on me not going anywhere.
Yes. So how did you deal with that?
That's a good question. That is a very good question.
Well, how are you dealing with that? Okay. Because it hasn't stopped, right?
Yeah, it has not. I feel like I became an introvert because of that. I'm a natural homebody now. I'm comfortable at home. I don't really go outside.
Okay.
So I feel like because of the shelter that they're giving me and the, what's it called? The love? The support?
Wait, did you all catch that? Did you all catch that? The love? You know, I think that's what it's called. Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what they're trying to do. That's what they did.
In their own way.
In their own way.
Yeah.
That they did. And I feel like it actually made me who I am today because of that.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah. They taught me things that really helped me when I went to high school or when I went to Chicago Lights downtown. You know, different things that we had to do in school, which was leaving, field trips and stuff.
Absolutely.
The things that I learned at home with them really helped me when I had to go out and
very good.
Meet other people.
Now, are there any things that you she's anticipating this question like, you trying to get me in trouble? No, not yet. Any things that you think, and we're still just with Papa and them, any things that you would wish they could have helped you more with or not done more of?
I feel like they could have I don't know. I really don't know because I feel like I'm fine with who I am and how they helped raise me. So I feel like if I was not raised the way I am now, I would be like all these other people. Gen Z, people out here doing crazy things. So I feel like I'm more grateful than I am. More what's it called? Like worried or something.
Okay.
To want to change how I was raised.
Now, what is your generation?
Sadly, Gen Z.
Wait, why you say sadly?
Because they're crazy.
Oh, some of them are a little different.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the word. Different.
Okay. So, one last thing, though, I wanted to ask you. So, you have your extended sisters. So, my 5 girls.
Yes.
Did you and your cousins, so your other cousins, I'm like your cousins like they're not your cousins. Was there anything different that they did?
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that.
I feel like it's mainly because of the environment that we all grew up in. We all grew up in Grandma House. Grandma House is Grandma House.
That part.
We all grew up there. We all know the whole neighborhood. But I feel like since you guys were able to move out and go to school and stuff like that, I feel like that had a big impact on the difference of our lives. They experienced things that I can't experience because of sickle cell and stuff. Right. And that's mainly it.
Okay.
The moving part.
We're talking about movements. Listen, we're going to come back in just one moment and get back to just a little bit more of her story, how school has been and different things like that. But please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now we are talking to my daughter niece, Imani King. And we've had a conversation already about how she's been with both family, the ones that live at home, as well as, you know, a little few encounters with her cousins. So what I want to talk about before we move to the school is now I know there was this most recent incident where you were in the hospital, terrified everybody, yourself included, I'm sure. The hardest part for me as your mom, I'm gonna keep saying that, y'all, I'm just being silly, was to see you in a position that we couldn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, we couldn't come visit. And if you could talk, because there were times where you would be in the hospital, but your mom could come, we could come visit and everything, you know, come bring food, do whatever. So can you talk about those times how you felt when you would be in the hospital, when you were able to have visitors, and as well these times where you've had to, when you couldn't?
Okay, so when I could have visitors, it was, I think I was more relaxed and calm because I knew I could see my family on the outside, and I feel like I had that reassurance that I had someone to rely on when I got out.
Right.
And there were people there for me and waiting for me and that was praying for me and that, you know, that cared about me.
Yes.
In general, yeah. And in the incident where I couldn't have any visitors, I don't remember most of it, but I knew I broke down.
Yes, you did.
Because, I don't know, I just felt trapped. More trapped than I am at home.
Oh.
And I understand that I only have my mom up there. But I'm more adamant my mom going to work because that's what she needs to do. So when she's not there and I can't have any visitors, that seems like I'm alone. Yes. With all these wires on my body and machines beeping, nurses coming in and out, doctors, and I'm drugged up, so I don't really,
you know, those little parts,
right? And I don't have that one person or a person there to speak for me when I can't speak myself. Absolutely. And so I felt so alone.
Wow. Yeah. And then this last situation, this girl, listen, if you all have ever loved someone that did not feel well or was in and out of the hospital, I don't know how you all, how you may handle it. But for me, I was like, first of all, I don't do well with people that are sick. Like outside of the common cold, count me out. So when I'm sitting there on FaceTime looking at my baby, and I'm, you know, as a parent, you're trying to say, okay, stay calm, because if you act up, then that's not going to help them. So you're like, okay, stay calm, it's going to be all right. And meanwhile, you're about to cry and break down because you're like, I can't do nothing. And then you had, what was it, a seizure? Yeah. So she had a seizure.
I did.
Do you remember everything around that?
I remember everything.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I had COVID. I don't have it now. But I had COVID. And I knew I had COVID, but they didn't want to test me for COVID. They decided to test me for HIV.
Wait, pause there.
That's beside the point.
Right. So let's pause there. Before you go there, you had spent over a year, no COVID.
No COVID.
You go into the hospital. And contract COVID.
And got COVID.
Okay. Now let's move forward with that. Yeah. So you're telling them, hey, test me for COVID.
Yeah. Couldn't taste anything. My throat was raw red. And they said, oh, well, we're going to test you for strep and HIV. Okay. So after a week passed, I had to get an MRI. And to get an MRI, you needed to take the COVID test. I had COVID.
That part.
And I could have told y'all that a week ago. but yes. So because of that, they gave me COVID medicine for sickle cell patients. Oh. Either that or having COVID increased my high blood pressure. And I think it was because of the medicine, it rose more. So I started getting headaches, bad migraines. Yes. And it got to the point where I couldn't control it. I was screaming as loud as I could. It was unbearable. And next thing I knew, I'm not gonna say something, but it was God. He told me to turn around to my mom, calm down, because I knew she would freak out.
Yes.
And I told her, Mom, I'm shaking. I'm gonna have a seizure. And I didn't know what it was.
This is the first time ever.
This is the first time. But he told me to tell her because I knew if I was freaking out and crying, she would have done the same thing.
That part.
10 times more. So I had to calm down myself. And all I remember was my left leg starting to shake all the way up to my arm. And then my eyes closed. And I woke up in the ICU.
Yeah. And my sister, your mother, gets everybody on the group FaceTime and looks at us. Sits there and looks at us. I don't know if we told you this story.
No.
She FaceTime. We have a group chat. Our family has a group chat. And she FaceTime and she didn't say nothing. She sat there like this. And we're sitting there like, okay, what's going on? We know Monty in the hospital. What's going on? And she literally, I'm not saying anything until everyone gets on the phone. And I'm like, what kind of foolishness is this? We're all. And so she was like, well, Monty had a seizure. She's stable now. I don't want to talk about it. And I'm sitting here like, oh, that's what we're doing? So, but you were also in school.
Yeah.
And you've been eliminating excuses for a long time.
Yeah.
Because you graduated.
I did.
Did what you needed to do that because you were still, when you were in school, in and out of the hospital, in the hospital for weeks at a time, down for weeks at a time. So how is it that you've been able to work through being in school? So what are you in school for? Let's start there.
So right now I am in school for hospitality management.
Okay.
I needed that to get my culinary certificate. So
we got to cook and eat and stuff. Yeah. We got to cook and eat. Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. First. And so you've been able to stay on top. Like what? Yes. How has communicating has it been with your teachers? Like what do you do in order to make sure that even outside of that you still stay on top of what you need to?
So this recent incident, I went to the emergency room because I knew I was going to have a sickle cell crisis. I knew that was happening. I knew the side effects. So I went to the emergency room early because it was the calm before the storm.
Yes. So
when I got admitted in, I was in my room. I Zoomed all my teachers one-on-one to tell them I'm in the hospital. I won't be able to do my work. And they understood, and that was that. Yes. So then when I got out, only 2 teachers were helping me. 3 teachers was helping me get my work done. They gave me an extended thing to finish my work, and I had to drop the other class.
Right.
I was doing too much, but yeah.
So one of the things we have to realize is, communication is good. So along the way, you've been able to do what you needed to do because you communicated. Some of these old folk out here in college playing games, paying all this money, and not communicating with the teachers. So you're eliminating excuses. You're about to pass up in these grades and get what you needed to do because you decided to do. Now, it wasn't always that way.
No.
So we'll go back in memory lane in 1 second. When we come back, we're going to talk about some challenges that we've experienced before she got to the point now where she's eliminating excuses. Now, you all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm trying to see what we doing. I want to be like John Lewis. I know that I'm just...
Are you the go-to for your family or business? Where will they go when you go? I'm Melissa West, creator of Fit for Legacy, where I empower leaders to create generational plans for success. Stop being afraid to die. Put a plan in place for your legacy. With your Legacy Life Plan, we move you from what if to what's next. Visit fitforlegacy.com for your plan today.
We got all the juice, got it from my roots, yeah.
Welcome back. I have been enjoying this time with my daughter, my niece, Imani King. So girl, we're almost done chopping it up. But what I wanted to know, don't come for me because I said chopping it up. So before you got to the point where you were being accountable and eliminating excuses, you had some challenges.
Yeah.
And you wanted mama to talk to the people instead of you. So how did you first tell us some of those incidents where you weren't being accountable?
Okay, so it started in high school. my freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to a private school. So
Yes.
my grades was, I graduated with A's and B's, transferred those to my school,
Mm-hmm.
D's and F's, because their grade system is terrible. So
You said this.
I had to get used to that,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't getting used to that. And
Okay.
and on top of what I got, on sickle cell, they weren't familiar with everything. So they like to use the excuse, oh, we had sickle cell students before. And I was like, well, you can't,
Everyone's different.
Right.
Right.
But they had to learn it the hard way. I did too. I didn't do my work. When I would have pain, I would take it out on the teachers.
Ooh.
I wouldn't do my work. That was the biggest thing. I would procrastinate until after the last minute. So freshman year, I was not supposed to be there.
Now, have you ever used your sickness to...
Yes.
There was she didn't even hesitate with that. She was like, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the times where you were really bad, you were really bad.
I was really
So
bad.
what made you decide to stop playing games and be the adult that you're growing up to be?
First it was seeing my mom and how much she had to pay for extra classes and stuff.
That'll do it.
And all the complaints at home, because I live with these people.
Because you weren't just getting it from mama.
No, I was getting it for grandma, papa, Uncle Junior, people that weren't even living there. I got it from too.
Really? Yeah. Did I say something?
You probably did,
Oh, okay.
and like in a joking way, but
okay.
I read between the lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so that you got tired of hearing people.
Yeah.
So you made the change.
That, and then a couple of my friends, they failed.
Ooh.
And then they transferred. So I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. So like, let me just...
Because they would have to repeat.
Yes. And that was embarrassing.
That part.
So I didn't want to do that. And then that's more money. And I didn't want to do that either. So I was not doing summer school. So I was like, no, let me just do this.
Very good.
That's what I did.
So what are your endeavors now? What is the journey that is Imani King? Where are we going now?
Okay, so... After high school, I did get accepted to the Culinary Institute of America.
Period.
And it's in California, but I was told by my doctor that I could not go because...
COVID?
Not COVID, but it was just too far of a distance. And so there is one in Texas, so I'm like, we come down there with you guys.
Period. Okay.
But I'm going to stay up here to get my hospitality management degree first.
Okay.
That I started I think it was last February.
Okay.
So then I'm gonna continue that real quick and then get the thing. I don't have to pay any tuition.
Amen.
Got scholarships and my financial aid. So
Very good. So how
Yes.
much longer do you have?
I wanna say 2 years.
Okay.
2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it is.
Now you spend a lot of time on social media, but not really on social media.
Yeah.
Please explain to me, because you said that you're on there, but you're not on there. What does that mean? Because like every time I go in there, there's something different on there. So what does that mean?
So when I'm on social media to sit back and just watch everything, but I don't post anything about myself.
Never.
No.
I don't even think. I think the last time you posted a profile picture was 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't post anything about myself.
Well, listen, y'all, I have had the most fun time talking to my baby girl, which is not really a baby girl. She has been going through a lot of challenges. I need you all to maintain your health. There's nothing that she could have done because we have the trait and your father
Yeah.
had. So, but one of the things that I want to make sure that we understand is that life is precious. Life is important. It's important to make sure that you know your body. Again, this is another episode where it's knowing your body, because we were actually on our way back to Houston when you were leaving to go to the hospital. And she's like, and she was just as calm. She had a bag, about I'm feeling myself about to have a crisis. And I'm like, I wish I knew my body that well to know. It's like, wait a minute, y'all, it's about to be a bad day. But it's important that we continue to eliminate excuses in our lives. This woman, oh my God, I called her a woman. This young lady, this young girl, she'll be 21 in December, and she has lived with this illness and has been knocking things out, even outside of her challenges. She continues to try to keep her spirits up. You know, sometimes we all have those days where we just don't want to be bothered. But one of the things I want to thank you for is continuing to be here, continuing to show up and be the best version of Imani King you could be.
Thank you.
So I'm very proud of you. I'm still here for you. We rocking it out. We rolling. And when you're ready to come on down, you know, your fake mama might have a problem, but she'll be all right.
Yeah.
She'll be all right. She can visit. That's why they got planes and buses and trains and stuff. So I thank you all for joining us for another episode of Eliminating Excuses. Please understand that you should always learn balance, grow in your perspective, and be accountable to someone. Have a great day.